Hi guys, welcome back to Harry Makes Up. I thought a video that would be good to do today is Skinted versus Minted. So again, I think it's January, we're all trying to save a bit of money. I know I definitely am, and there's so much temptation around what with Space NK and Selfridges and January sales that I thought what's a good way to kind of show you great makeup you can get but affordable version. Now Bioderma isn't particularly expensive when it comes to kind of cleansers. However, I think the high street has seen so many good, cheaper alternative even to Bioderma's come in now. In terms of affordable micellar waters, I think the best one I found is the Garnier. I get a good amount in the bottle. I think this is 400ml, it says 200 uses. I find this bottle lasts me quite a long time. And I think of all the micellar waters I've tried that are kind of the budget end of the market, I definitely think this is one of the best. Now, I love the Clarins waterproof eye makeup remover. This is one of my travel ones because I couldn't find my big one, but it is quite pricey. So for a cheaper version of this, I would definitely give the Rimmel, this is their Just Let It Go Gentle Eye Makeup Remover. And this is oil-free as well, but it's really, really nice and quite gentle. I would say the Clarins one is that little bit quicker, but I still think for the price point, this is a really, really good eye makeup remover. Now, one of my firm favourites in my 2014 favourites was the Skyn Iceland Nordic Skin Peel Pads. I think I've talked about these in so many videos now, but it's because they really, really work. And they are pricey, and I've been testing out a couple of kind of cheaper alternatives for a while now. One I found recently I've been really enjoying is the Nip and Fab. This is their Glycolic Fix, and it's for exfoliating brightening. So very similar to what exactly the same pretty much as what the Skyn Iceland pads do. They're kind of like exfoliating, brightening, remove the dead skin cells. Don't put them near your eyes, otherwise they will sting. But I find these are still quite gentle because the Skyn Iceland range is all for gentle, sensitive skin. But yeah, I thought the Nip and Fab ones, I think these are around a tenner, I thought were really, really good for the price. I still prefer my Skyn Iceland ones, but I would say these are as good as you're going to get for the price point. I think facial oils are something that are kind of a really trendy skincare item at the moment, and they're one of those things that are really nice at nighttime in particular because the skin can really absorb and work well with them. I absolutely love the Nude Pro Genius treatment oil, and it's the one that's kind of got omega-3, 6, 7 and 9. I've been using this for a long time, but again, it's on the pricey side. So a really good budget alternative is the Sanctuary Spa, the Covent Garden one, and this is their Therapist Secret Facial Oil, which is just as good. It's so deeply moisturising. It kind of absorbs quick enough that it's not too greasy. I would definitely stick with nighttime though with this, but I think this is a really good budget alternative. So moving on to concealer, and I'm a big fan of the MAC, I think it's the Select Moisture Cover Up, which is these ones in the little tubes. I always run out of them really quickly. And I would think the Revlon Colorstay is actually quite a good dupe for this. And I think what you find with the MAC, sometimes with the orange tones and the yellow tones and the pink tones, they're all so strong in tone. But what I quite like about the Revlon ones is they're a bit more diluted in tone, if that makes sense. So I think the skin colours they have are very, very good. And the Colorstay concealer, I think I mix between 02 Light and number 3. I find are really, really good on me and make a good substitute for the MAC Select Moisture Cover Up. So we all love a bit of Chanel. Chanel Le Beige I think is a really beautiful product. It's one of those products that not a lot of people really understand what it does, and I think that's because it's a very discreet product. It just gives that skin a little bit of a glow without there being any sheen involved or any kind of dewy wet look to the skin, and more in the form of kind of like adding a bit of colour to the skin as well. I love this product, however, again, it's Chanel, so it's going to be on the pricey side. Another product that I love that's quite similar is the Bourjois Healthy Balance, and this is their unifying powder. And first of all, I love how thin the packaging is. You do get a mirror inside as well, and I think it's very, very silky and really beautifully kind of loosely pressed as well. So it really does lift kind of really fine in texture, and I think this just glides beautifully onto the skin. The Givenchy Le Prism blush is one of those kind of makeup artist classics, and I think the colours are gorgeous. You get kind of 4 different textures and 4 different tones of the blush, so you get a really beautiful even colour payoff with these. I think it's called Orange Vogue, or Vogue Orange is one of my kit favourites, and I absolutely love this. But I did find recently, I'll put them next to each other so you can see how similar they are. It's by Gosh, and I've used this in other videos before, I think. It's called the Multicolour Blush 51 Bronze Pie. So if I put them next to each other, you can see the tones are really, really similar, and I think that is a really, really good drugstore version of the Givenchy blush. So I think since we've had the Naked palette, everyone's kind of gone mad for the kind of neutral palettes and palettes with really good eyeshadows in. And I don't actually own the Too Faced chocolate palette. However, I know very well what it looks like, and I did see in Superdrug recently this brand called I Heart Makeup, and it's very cheeky. They've actually literally kind of copied the packaging even on the outside, or interpreted, should we say, the packaging on the outside, so it's very similar. And the colours inside there I think are really, really good. I don't know if the camera can pick the colours up exactly, but the pigmentation's really good, the payoff's really good, and I think this was about £6 to £8, something like that. So that's a really good dupe if you're looking for like a nice palette to treat yourself, but you're trying to save some pennies in January. Also on the palettes, these palettes by Revolution make a really good dupe for the Naked palettes. I think these were £4 to £6. They were very kind of affordable as well. And although the quality I would say isn't quite as good as the Naked palette, I think if you're on a really tight budget, you could definitely make some really good looks out these palettes. So sticking on the eye theme, I use MAC eyeshadows quite a lot in my kit in various different textures and formulations. They're just one of those brands that I can get any colour that I need. The quality is beautiful, they layer really well, they blend beautifully, and they're butter soft. And I think to find a really good brand that's very similar to MAC, but for kind of a more affordable price point, I think Kiko comes very, very close. Now I've got a couple of examples to show you. So this is, and they often kind of have offers as well at Kiko, so have a look at, you know, sometimes they have £2 off or £3 off, but this is one of their, I think this is one of the kind of pewtery shades, but the pigment's really beautiful, the payoff's lovely, again really buttery, really blendable, and even things like, so this was a MAC one I had from a couple of collections ago, and this is one of the Kiko ones that's kind of quite similar. It almost has like the shimmer with the matte colour in it, so when you mix them together that you get the same effect. But what it is with the Kiko that impresses me so much is the pigment payoff is just as good as MAC, and it lasts. The Chanel Illusion d'Ombre is something you guys have seen me use in a lot of my videos, and Mirifique is a really lovely one. I think it's called, there's one called Eggplant that's really nice. There's quite a few that I tend to use a lot. But one product I found recently that I'm really grateful has been brought out is Max Factor's Excess Shimmer. Now I've got the bronze one here, which again, the Chanel ones do have all different kind of tones. But I just think the moussey kind of texture is very, very similar to Chanel. And dare I say it, I think I actually prefer the Max Factor version because it doesn't seem to dry out as quickly as my Chanel ones. That is my only criticism with the Chanel Illusion d'Ombre. They are brilliant, but I definitely find that mine have shrunk very quickly. So you've literally can't let any air get in. You've got to put the lid on straight away. But again, the way that these blend is beautiful. I find them best with brushes, and I just think the quality is so long lasting and it gives a really beautiful finish. That same kind of shimmer finish that you get with the Chanel Illusion d'Ombre. I think Charlotte Tilbury for me was one of the standout brands of 2014, and I definitely love her Colour Chameleon Amber Haze for brown eyes. Is a really gorgeous kind of eyeshadow crayon pencil, and I love them, but again they're pretty pricey. So if I'm looking to save a bit of money, another brand that I love is the Rimmel Scandaleyes. Again, I've probably used these in a video before or mentioned them endless times, but that's because they are really good and they really work and they really last. And I think this colour in particular, which is Bad Girl Bronze, is really, really lovely. It's not quite the same as Amber Haze, it's got a bit more red in it, but still a beautiful colour that will make any colour eyes look really lovely, and it's a snip of a price. So a quick one for brows, I would have to say the Anastasia Brow Wiz has been a firm favourite 2014. It was in my 2014 favourites. However, Soap and Glory Archery, definitely pretty much the same product, or I think you're just not going to have as many colours to choose from. So definitely check that one out. I think if you can find your colour, it's definitely a cheaper version of the Anastasia Brow Wiz. So lips, I did want to mention MAC lip pencils, which I love as lipsticks as well on their own. They are absolutely gorgeous. And a dupe for these, which I couldn't actually find any in my pro kit today. I don't know where they've gone, which is slightly worrying. But Gosh lip pencils, their velvet lip pencils are so similar to the texture of MAC ones. And again, are just as long lasting, really blendable, really creamy, but still with that matte, thick texture. Very similar to the MAC ones. So if you haven't tried the Gosh lip pencils, definitely give those a go because they are definitely a cheaper alternative to the MAC lip pencils. And then I was thinking kind of nails, this time of year, beauty treatments, you're perhaps not going to go and get your gel nails done. So how about trying one of the Gel Effect Nails Ink nail polish? I am wearing the colour Porchester Square, which is this gorgeous, like kind of minky mauvey, like diluted paley mauve, which is just like a gorgeous, quite nice January nude, I think. So I'm really loving that. I've got it on my nails at the minute. Like hold it there so you guys can see. And I just think this is a really beautiful colour. It's really neutral, really nice and clean and fresh for January. And I think with the gel effect, you can still look like you've been to the salon, even though you're giving yourself a treat at home. So last product is brush cleaner. This one is by MAC and it's just their brush cleanser, which is very good. I like it for kind of spot cleaning, or if I'm on shoots where I need to clean them quickly for kind of the next person, or if I'm sort of running out of brushes, I like it for that. However, brush cleaner is one of those things that is very, very expensive. And actually, if you're washing your own brushes at home, something you can use that is so much cheaper is just standard washing up liquid. I do really, really like the Fairy antibacterial one because obviously it kills all the bacteria, but something like a washing up liquid, as long as you rinse it really well out your brushes, it just kills all the bacteria, it gets cream products out really well, especially foundations and concealers. So I hope that was helpful, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and I'll see you soon for more videos. Thanks very much, bye!